It's looking lovely. Thank you so much. You're very kind. Thank you. Save some of that for later. Hello and welcome to Friday Night with Jonathan Ross. Well, if you need to raise money for Christmas, I have the perfect scheme. Marry Britney Spears. Eh? A couple of months, few stupid named kids later, and bingo. Kevin Federline, or, sorry, K-Fed, I believe is what you call him, or divorced, as he's now known. Found out by text. Did you read that? Britney Spears texted him, said it was all over. Presumably predictive text, because I think we all predicted that one. You see what I cleverly did there? Yeah, I think it proves one golden rule. Never marry your backing singers. A rule that I never intend to break. Talking of divorce, may I introduce the men who often have tears in their eyes following a painful split. It's my house band, 4 puffs and a piano.
If you start me up, if you start me up, I'll never stop, never stop, never stop. Slide it up. You make a grown man cry. You make a grown man cry. You make a grown man cry.
Thank you very much indeed. Dave, Ian and Steve, thank you. Shall we see who is in my green room this evening for your viewing pleasure? Why don't we? My first guest is the star of the BBC's new sexy sci-fi hit, Torchwood. It's John Barrowman, ladies and gentlemen. John Barrowman. Good evening, John.
Evening.
Looking every inch the idol that you are.
And there's a lot of inches to look at.
Yes, we'll get to that, I'm sure. Now... My next guests are some of the most original comedians in the country. I'm delighted on the show. It's the mighty Boosh. It's the Boosh in the hoosh. That almost worked. Good evening. Hello, Julian. Hello, Noel. Hello. Hey, how lovely to have you here. There they are. And that is a look, isn't it? You look like a 70s glam rocker and his accountant. There's a party you didn't think you'd been invited to this evening, eh? That's of course, Naboo, the mighty Swami there, who's part of the Boosh family. And that's Bolo the gorilla, is that correct? Yeah. That's the Boosh there on the show. Now, my next guest is an actress, an Oscar-winning writer, a mother, and probably anything else she wants to be, because she is the fabulous Emma Thompson. Hello, Emma. How lovely to see you again. Thank you for coming. I love having Emma on the show. Emma, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but I think of you as quintessentially English. OK? You're like a lovely old Aga.
What, because I've got 4 doors?
No.
What?
It's because you are cosy, you are comforting, you're expensive to run, and you're always turned on. And frankly, I wouldn't mind slipping a pork tenderloin in your simmering oven. Now, how lovely to have Emma Thompson on the show. And also, we have fantastic music this evening. I'm delighted she's back. The lovely Gwen Stefani. Wow, Gwen, as always, you look fabulous. Always looks great. The gorgeous Gwen Stefani. And Gwen isn't alone tonight. She's backed by 8 rhythmic dancers and 5 banging drummers. Okay. If we could find some maids of milking and some lords of leaping, we could start Christmas right now, get it out of the way. Gwen Stefani on the programme. Lovely to have you back, Gwen. Looking fabulous. Now, I don't know if you've been watching the fantastic new series of Planet Earth. Have you been watching that here on the BBC? It's fabulous, OK? Simply stunning. Wildlife photography that you won't see elsewhere. Polar bears attacking a walrus. Lions eating an elephant, incredible. But it's not just Attenborough that can do it. There's a new lensman in town. I thought I'd show off. I took some pictures of one of our pets at home. Thought I'd bring in and see what you thought, OK? Here, this is our royal python, Ken, OK? Eating a mouse. That's it. What are you going R for? It's nature. This is nature. OK, look, that's one picture. Look, now, the mice I keep in the freezer. And last summer, the kids had a friend round and I was looking for some ice pops and I got the bag of mice out first. And one of the little girls thought I was going to feed them the mice. But the interesting, she didn't say no. She was a bit scared. She went, oh. I said, no, I've got some fruit ones in here somewhere, don't I? Have a look at another one. There he is. Look, it's almost gone. Look how he's unhinged his jaw. He's happy there, look. Oh, no, look at that. He looks... That's like the one in Jungle Book, isn't it? Trust in me, trust in me. Look, and it... Oh. And you can see, look, the jaw's going back together now, and then, ooh, down it goes, and then, look, there's just the tail left. There, it's gone. I should point out that after I'd taken those photographs, I looked around and realised I was missing one of the children. But I don't think he's big enough. Should we get my first guest out? Yeah! Why don't we? Before we do, let's see him in action in the cracking new series, Torchwood.
The power will run out. I can wait.
Jack, help her! Give her a chance to surrender!
Have you not seen what she's done?
Let them stay in the cells! We can help reverse the process!
I told you we're past that! Hold them back!
What are you gonna do?
Don't ask
questions. Just get him on there and hold him.
What is that stuff?
Kind of barbecue sauce. It helps it identify its food.
What? Identify its food.
I'm sorry. Come on, Tosh, hurry up. You kill him.
Come on. Come on, a sexy lady robot punches a pterodactyl while Captain Jack goes up in the lift. That's what you want. Here he is. It's John Barrowman, ladies and gentlemen.
I lost my heart to a starship trooper, flashing lights in hyperspace. I lost my heart to a starship trooper.
John Barrowman.
Thank you, guys.
How exciting to have you here.
How exciting to be here. I mean, this is when you've made it. You come on the Rossi shows.
Well, we'll see how well you do before we decide. How great to have you, because I love you as Captain Jack. I loved you in Doctor Who. Me and the family sat and watched. And now you've got the spin-off series. We're loving that as well.
Yeah.
It's terrific stuff. Are you enjoying John in Torchwood, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah! Good, that's what we like to hear.
It's a great show. For those who might not be aware necessarily, because not everyone's seen it yet, how will we describe him? He's kind of a time... Well, what is he?
Well, Captain Jack, he's not a Time Lord. He's a time agent who has gone rogue and has traveled through time to help himself find out some years of his life that have been missing. So he's doing anything he possibly can. And when you first meet him in Doctor Who, he's a con artist. So he's not a very likable guy. But through the course of the first series of Doctor Who, towards the end of it, he changes and becomes more likable. And in a sense, that's what happened with the audience. The audience didn't like him at first.
Well, when he first appeared, yeah, I was a bit weird. I didn't want to see... You just wanted to see the Doctor and Rose, and then suddenly this fella came in and he was larging it all over, bigging himself up, and you think, get out of here, we want to see Doctor Who. But then you grow to like him.
For some reason, the British public took to him, and, you know, great as it may be, because it just led to more things, and it was fantastic.
The character Captain Jack is quite unusual in science fiction in that, and certainly, you know, especially on British TV, because it's quite a grown-up show.
Yes.
Torchwood now,
yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
They hinted at Jack's, let's face it, his kind of open sexuality.
He's what we like to call, if you need a label, you'll say bisexual, but if you want to use the science fiction terms, he's omnisexual.
Omnisexual?
Yeah, he'll kind of, I don't know if I'm going to say it anyway, you can bleep it out, but he'll go with anything with a hole.
He's kind of like... he's like a time-travelling Wayne Rooney.
And he's got...
Watch out, Bollo's interested in there now, like he's...
Actually, that's quite turning me on.
You know what? I might
it's
have
quite
some of that
sexy,
action
isn't
as well.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the Planet Earth cameraman and we'll both have a go.
They're quite pliant. OK, Bollo's interested. Do you think, joking aside though, could you f*** a monkey? Seriously. All right, let me ask you this. No, seriously. If you were trapped on an island, just you, and quite a sexy monkey, and maybe the only other thing you had was, like, a razor and some shaving cream, right?
Yeah.
Would you make love with a lady monkey or even a gentleman monkey?
You know what? If you're hard and horny enough, I think you'd do it.
Yeah.
I really think you would.
I apologise if you've already heard this question on Parky, but I thought we had to...
Some would say I've a few gorillas in my time. Excuse me.
I don't think you need to ask them for the forgiveness. I think Bollo's the one you've upset.
I think he was quite interested.
No.
No.
He's grumpy.
Yeah, no, he is interested. See? Yeah, there
I just want to reassure Emma and Gwen, I will be asking all my guests the same question this evening, OK?
Gwen's concern is no, because her mom and dad are in the audience.
Well, why didn't you tell me that earlier?
I know, but now you know, right?
I would have been more polite. I would have said, would you fornicate with the simian? Right? You'd have approached it more gingerly.
Would you shag a monkey?
Never mind dragging it down to your level. I had some very intellectual questions for you this evening,
right,
John.
Go on then.
OK, let's talk a bit more Torchwood, where it's going, because I've been watching it every week with my kids, and I know it's kind of more for grown-ups, but I mean, I think, you know, the older ones have been fine with it. It's about episode 4 or 5 now that we've had?
We've had episode 4, 5 coming up this Sunday on BBC 3.
OK, and what's happening with the rest of the story? Have you filmed the whole series already?
The whole series, we just finished on Saturday, and we had a huge big blowout party, which was one of the best rap parties that I've ever been to. And
you film in Cardiff, don't you?
We film in Cardiff, Wales, but Cardiff is not pretending to be something else. In Doctor Who, Cardiff pretends to be London, but in Torchwood, Cardiff is Cardiff. The series itself, what's happened in episode 4 and the last one, you're finding out that everybody has a secret.
All the people in Torchwood have some sort of a different agenda.
Yes.
One bloke, he had the cyber woman, the robot lady you saw fighting the pterodactyl there. He had her hidden in a room downstairs.
That's right. She was in the basement in the lower level of the hub, which is our base.
Yeah.
And she was being kept alive by him because he saved her. This is going to sound really laborious to those of you who don't know, but he saved her from Torchwood 1, which was destroyed by the Cybermen and the Daleks during the Battle of Canary Wharf.
OK. Here's the thing I love about John. When you see John, you think he's a good-looking man, he's got matinee idol, but actually, scratch the surface and he's an annoying 13-year-old, isn't he? It's the Battle of Canary Wharf. Yeah. And then the robots came in,
we always talk about it on set and say this stuff like it really happens. Because in our world, it really does.
Well, I kind of believed it when I saw it.
There you go.
I still think the government might have covered up the Daleks.
They actually, well, some of the government members look like Daleks. Yeah. They probably are Daleks.
What's the scariest monster that you have encountered in Cardiff? And don't say Charlotte Church.
There's every Friday night walking down the street or when we're in Cardiff and we're filming, there's a lot of scary monsters, you know, blonde and tube tops with mini skirts and very bad high heels. And the best thing is to watch them fight the seagulls. The seagulls try to steal the chips from the girls when they come out of clubs. And that's hysterical. That's about the best monster.
Hold it. This actually happens or you've made this up?
No, it happened. No, it happens.
That sounds like one of the greatest spectator sports a man could see.
It's fantastic.
Slappers in boob tubes fighting seagulls for chips. Why haven't they filmed that? I would watch that. Wouldn't you watch that? If you put a live camera up, I would watch that and we could bet on which one was going to get the... That sounds like a great night out.
It's a great night out. What do you think? Why do you think we were so late in finishing the shoot? We were all watching the boob top.
So you'll obviously enjoy making it. And the series, can you give us any clues as to where it goes in terms of the characters and other creatures we might be encountering? For example, next week, who's
I really can't tell you because it's you know, I've signed a secrecy clause and we're all told not to say anything because why would I want to spoil what's to come? All I'll say that next week you'll encounter fairies, and not our kind, but those kinds.
Okay.
Actually, they're the same, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're all one and the same.
Now, because you are a gay gentleman yourself.
Yes.
Are you a gay or are you a bi?
I'm sort of. I know I'm gay. I'm not bi. I mean,
you've dabbled.
I still like women. Yeah. I think women are extremely sexy, and I think one of the best parts about a woman is her breasts. And it's true. It's true. And what other man out there is going to disagree with me? You know what I mean? So and I think women are sexy. I think men are sexy. Who's to say that I'll never have sex with a woman? I don't know. But I'm one of those guys who just takes it a day at a time and sees what happens.
Have you ever entered the ladies'
bits and bobs?
No, boudoir, I was going to say, because I'm bearing in mind that Gwen's mum and dad in, and we can't say things like that.
I have entered a lady's boudoir before, and I have performed certain acts on a lady before, but I rang my... This is the hysterical thing. I rang my mom and dad after.
Hang on, what are you doing? Listen, how gay is that?
Mom,
guess what I just did?
I did. Actually, better story. I was in a fraternity house in college, and they made us all... the stuff you see on television and movies about frat boys are completely true. They lined us all on the floor. I had to lay down, and they put $1 bills in our mouth. I'm going to stand up here. And they had this woman come in, and she was quite hefty, and we're all lying down, and she stood over us and did this, and she took the dollar bills out of her mouth with her chooch. It was like the bearded clam watching it come down on me. And this woman, she snapped it up. I rang my mother. I
said, Mum, what are you doing in the fraternity house?
I said, what do I do? She said, my mom, when I speak to my mom, I speak with a Scottish accent. She said, son, John, you go in that cupboard and you get Dettol and you scrub your face with Dettol. So here's me on the phone scrubbing my face with a toothbrush with Dettol. My face was raw.
I think, by the way, that's one of the new challenges in I'm a Celebrity, Get Me
Out of Here.
Well, that's wow,
what
an education.
That was a long time ago.
What an education you got there.
Maybe that's what turned me.
Well, no.
No, I was all,
I think you either are or you're not.
I believe that you're either born that way. It's not something you choose, because why would you want to choose something that is a minority? And and looked down upon by certain parts of society.
I read comics.
Hey, I have to say, you're an otaku.
Otaku. That's a Japanese word which means kind of nerd.
That's correct, and I'm one too. Yeah.
Okay, we're
and
both
for your nerd side, I have something for you.
Wow, look at this. Ah, now, is that you? Is that a little version of you?
That's a little version of me. It's my mini-me. It's the Captain Jack action figure. And this has been one of my dreams from a kid when I used to buy, because I collect, like a Jonathan, action men. Well, you don't collect action men. I collect dolls that are to do with TV shows and movies. And to have my own action figure, that's the only reason I wanted to do Doctor Who.
It's pretty good. I'll be honest with you, it's not the best action figure I've seen.
Well, who's better?
My action figures, I like to have more points of articulation.
Yeah.
I can tell you how many you've got. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of articulation.
You're not supposed to have them stand there.
I wouldn't even get this out in public. Unless you've got like 30 points of articulation.
Give me the toy back.
No. It's not very good.
Aww.
You know what? Now you're just being condescending. If I were you, you know what this means? This means they're probably going to write you out of the series.
Don't be ridiculous.
They would have made a better toy if they were going to keep you
They've given me my own, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, but they're going to kill you off, I bet. Those fairies are going to come and get you. Well, listen, can I keep this?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I'll put it with all the other shit I get given on the show. The stuff I get given, I got a cupboard full of it. It's just, we don't even go in there anymore. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm joking, of course.
Problem.
I do like the figures and the
problem.
toys. Hey, so you live mainly here in London.
Yes.
But presumably when you're filming, do you have a place in Cardiff? You live there as well?
I do. I have a place in Cardiff. I bought a place on the bay, which is nice. I wake up, look over the sea. It's beautiful. The thing that's great about Cardiff is it's a busy city, believe it or not, during the day, and then at nighttime it just goes very quiet. So if I take the dogs out for a walk, or if I just want to kind of go out and chill out by myself, it's very, very quiet.
When you say take the dogs out for a walk, that means actually walking the dogs, or mean you're looking for some action?
Okay.
Because I know dogs out for a walk often winds up with a cock in his mouth. Excuse me, Mr. and Mrs. Stefani.
I should be so lucky. I should be so lucky. No, I do take them out for a walk. You're a pet fan also. I've just bought
I like pets.
Hold on.
I don't take them out for a walk at night for a bit of cock action.
If you can find it in Cardiff, show me. Show me.
Is there not a lot of nightlife?
I don't know. What are you asking me for?
No, because you're living there.
No, I've got a partner of like 16 years. I'm not. I
thought in gay relationships it was kind of okay to sneak out the back door occasionally.
Yeah, but you don't tell people, especially the nation. For Christ's sake. And I'm not agreeing to that either.
Okay. No. Remove that from the show.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, I bought this great thing for my dog, and this shows how much of a nerd I am.
Okay.
I have a dog, her name's Penny, and she's about 17 years old, and she's my little, I call her my baby, and she has
what breed of dog is she?
She's an English Cocker Spaniel.
Right, lovely little things.
She has a problem where she can't walk very well. And I don't want to, she's still having a good life and sitting around and being friendly and stuff, and I don't want to put her to sleep, so I bought her a stroller. And there's me walking around down by the bay at night with Penny in a dog stroller and the other one on a leash. And do you think that's going to attract cock? No.
I would love to see a photograph of you out with the dog in the stroller.
I will send you a photograph.
You know what? How sweet that is. How sweet that you've made the effort and you're still giving her a life. That's the lovely thing.
No, she's my baby.
Well, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you mentioned you have a partner. You are with a partner you've been with for how long now?
It's about 15, 16 years.
Wow, that's a long old time. And are you going to have the civil ceremony? You're going to go ahead and do that?
We're looking at dates towards Christmas, and at the moment we're trying to find a place to basically do it. We are going to probably do it in Cardiff if we can get the dates that we want.
And is it mainly because of the kind of legal ramifications of getting bonded in that way, or is it something you want to do just because of the relationship you have?
Well, I think it's the legal things we don't need to legitimize our relationship because obviously we've legitimized
15
it all.
years,
It's
on many occasions, I'm sure.
Our families, and our families know it's there also. But for us, this whole thing with men and women being able to have civil partnerships, it forces people who don't want to accept it, they have to accept it.
Yeah.
And that's why we're doing it, because if you're in the position and you really care about someone, why shouldn't you have the rights like anybody else?
It's a magnificent step forward, I think.
It is. It's a
lovely
great step
thing.
forward. And this is a great step forward for this country and Europe, because, you know, the place where I also live, the United States, which claims to be a really free country, they don't do it.
Is there going to be a cake?
I don't know yet. Maybe there, I see. That's it hasn't been thought that far in advance yet.
You haven't even.
I'll probably go down to M&S and buy a cake and just put some things in it, and that'll be fine.
That's really depressing, frankly.
You want to bake me a cake?
No, I'm not offering to bake you a cake. I'm just saying it's a big day in your life, and you haven't thought about a cake.
The thing is, I don't have. We're going to be probably doing it in the morning, and then I have to go off and do 2 shows, and then I'm going to have the dinner in the evening. And at the dinner, I'll probably We're going to have it at the St. David's Hotel, which is next door to where I live.
Well, don't tell everyone. They'll all come and have a gawk at you.
Come on down. Come on down.
Don't say that. People
Well,
will all
hopefully
come
now
down.
they'll make a cake for me.
You'll have hundreds of women in boob tubes throwing chips at you as you Revenge.
Bring it on.
OK, now here is a thing about John, which I find remarkable and also very, very endearing, is that he's an all-round talent. These days, a lot of people on TV, obviously present company accepted, can't do more than one thing. John can do the singing, he can do the dancing, he can do the acting. He's obviously a personable fella. You've done any number of musical theatre performances over the years?
I've done about, I think it's 14 or 15 West End musicals.
Which are the shows that we would know that you've been in?
Oh.
And you've had lead roles in these, I believe, haven't you?
I've played the leads in all of them. I've done Miss Saigon, I've done Phantom, I've done...
You were Phantom in the opera?
No, I wasn't. I was Raoul.
Well, that's not the lead role, then.
Well, he's a secondary.
He's a liar, ladies and gentlemen.
Whatever. Someone else got it. I can't... Anything goes.
Are there musicals left that you'd like to have a crack at that you haven't done?
Off the top of my head, no. I'd love for maybe Andrew or someone to write me a musical myself. I dropped that name right there. Like
Andrew Lloyd Webber?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've met Andrew, presumably?
Well, I did a TV show for the BBC with Andrew called How Do You Solve a Problem Like Maria?
Has he ever walked up behind you when you weren't expecting
hope
him?
not.
And you've turned around and you've just gone, oh, Jesus, what is that? Has that ever happened?
I want to work for him again, you know what I mean? No, that has never happened, but... You know.
Have you ever made a figure out of plasticine, right, and left it in a hot room for any period of time?
It stuck some hair in it.
And come back in and thought,
that
Christ,
looks like Andrew.
No, what? No, I wasn't going to... No, that's unfair. He's a very talented man, of course.
Yes, he is very talented.
I've met him briefly. He seemed like a very nice man.
Yes.
Very focused, certainly.
Yes, yes.
Now, before you go, John...
Yes.
OK, we've established John can act. John can push a dog in a pram. John's got his own, not particularly well-crafted action film. Right? He can sing, so on and so forth. But can he choose the right movies to be in?
Oh, shit.
Have all his choices been good ones?
Oh, no, man.
Or, when deciding to appear in Shark Attack 3 Megalodon, was it possibly desperation or a big tax bill that prompted him?
It was cash.
OK, have a look. This is John in action for Shark Attack 3. Is it Megalodon?
Megalodon.
Megalodon.
Sounds like a porn movie.
Well, is that just means like a really big shark? Is that why?
It's a megalodon is a prehistoric shark.
Okay.
Why are you doing this to me?
Because I tell you, people are going to want to buy this DVD when they see it.
If they please do.
I want to see how this one turns out. I've never seen such a shark. Have a look at this.
Oh no.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah.
Davis, you all right?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Hey! East side! East side! We're taking on water!
Coming right there.
East side! Over here!
Hey, over here.
I'm going to ask you about your line, but, you know, I suspect David Attenborough sitting home saying, we've got to do something about our Blue Planet footage. It's not as good as that. Find me a megalodon.
A megalodon.
Was the dialogue as cracking as I saw there?
The dialogue was terrible, and there was one particular scene. The director asked me to get something out of the female who I was acting opposite, and I leaned over to her and I ad-libbed this, and I said, you know, I'm feeling kind of wired. what do you say I take you home and eat your pussy? Right? It was a joke to make her laugh. They left it in the frickin' movie. And I'm sitting with, it's a movie that I could let my nieces and nephew watch, and then all of a sudden Uncle John's going, what do you say I take you home and eat?
And that must have confused them for any number of reasons.
Exactly! Exactly!
Uncle John can't make his mind up. Uncle John, it's been a pleasure having you here.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Barrowman. Thank you, John. That was great. Thank you. Okay, I want to get your number. I want to watch that movie. Ah, dear. Mr. John Barrowman, ladies and gentlemen. What a charming, talented and funny man. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Uncle John's at it again, kids. OK, now, can I just say a qualified thank you to Lorelei and Stephanie from Manchester. So I'll do it in their own language. Hey, mad for it, our kid. They will understand that. Because they've sent in a copy of their favourite painting of the artist Edgar Rowley Smart, OK? I'd never heard of him either, but they sent this in because they'd seen this painting and they said that they thought, and this was said, we think it looks just like you, me. What do you think? Here's the picture. I think you need your bloody eyes testing, that's what I think. Yeah, that's me, all right, disguised as a 1930s lesbian. I might do my hair like that, actually. It's quite nice, isn't it? Kind of a shocked, careless look. Shall we get my next guest out? Yeah! OK, now, I'm a huge fan of these fellas and their comedy show. It's a great show. And I know it's not necessarily, you know, something that everyone's encountered, so I wanted to big them up before they came out. And I wasn't sure how to describe them, so I thought, I know what I'll do. The whole family love their show. It's called The Mighty Boosh. I'll ask the kids, how would you describe them? Because they're huge fans, OK? I said, you tell me how you describe them. This is what they told me. My teenager, Betty, who's a bit cool these days, she said, oh, I don't know, like two dudes from, like, a sort of comedy show. Right? So I asked my 9-year-old, Honey, and I said, how would you... She said, I don't know, I just love the show. I said, well, how would you... If your friend was round and you were asking her to watch the new DVD they've got out, they've got a live DVD, how would you persuade her? She said, they're the best and I think you'll love them. Before they come out, let's see them at work.
Do you like my new watch?
Nice. Where'd you get it?
Top Golf.
So are you really a sorcerer then?
Yeah.
When are we going to do some sorcering?
Right now. Just gonna call up my assistant.
Ladies.
Anthrax. Ebola.
Howard Moon.
He's pretty dark.
On the dark side of the moon.
That's one of mine. Yeah, can I have a word?
I can't.
What are you doing?
I can't breathe.
These are goth girls, yeah? They don't like jokes. They don't even smile, yeah? Do some dark stuff. Freak them out a bit.
Went to a graveyard today.
Yeah?
Yeah. Got naked. Did a shit on a tombstone.
There you go. Will you please welcome Noel and Julian, the Mighty Boosh. OK, well, now, for people who aren't familiar, which one's Julian and which one's Noel?
I'm Julian.
Julian Barrett, ladies and gentlemen, and Mr. Noel Fielding. Together they are the Mighty Boosh. But in the series on the show and when you do your live things, you have different names, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Vince.
You're Vince Noir.
Yeah, Vince Noir, rock and roll star.
OK. And...
Howard Moon.
Greasy Spoon.
Where did the name, the Mighty Boosh, originate, and does it mean anything?
Well, we didn't want to be called Barrett and Fielding, did we? Because we thought that sounds a bit rubbish.
That would have been the obvious route to take, I guess.
Sound like accountants. So
Yeah.
we thought maybe just give it a bit of an abstract name.
Yeah, and my brother, who's in the green room, who plays Naboo, he had sort of curly hair when he was little. it's gone quite straight now. It used to be like a big afro, sort of MC5 hair.
So a big...
Yeah, and he had a little friend who's like, I think he was Portuguese or something, and he used to go, "You've got a mighty Boosh." I thought it was funny.
Is that an accurate Portuguese accent?
It sounded a bit...
Well, none of us can beg to differ, because, of course, I don't know any Portuguese folks.
That's accurate.
Now, the show, it's kind of changed quite a lot of these, because the first series I saw, it felt very different to the way the second series appeared and the live tour. It was kind of much smaller in scale, I guess, or...
Yeah.
What happened in between? Was it the show you wanted to make initially and then it changed, or...?
We got, the second one? We got a bit better at writing, didn't we? And we got our vision started to get... We didn't quite know how to make it, because we had all these crazy ideas, and we didn't quite know how to make them, because we haven't got a very big budget, so... But then we started using back projection and stuff, didn't we? And lots of... I don't know, we just got better at it, actually, didn't we? First show, we weren't sure, were we? What we were doing.
I think Julian's still not entirely sure. Now, you do fairly different things. I know you write the show together, but you have different skills.
We have different strings to our bows.
Yeah. OK, what do you specialise in? What are the two areas that you claim as yours?
I specialise in jazz fusion guitar playing.
He's the fastest in Leeds.
Yeah, got a plaque from the mayor of Yorkshire. Yeah, and you know, you do the visuals, I do the music, and he does this.
So you're the artist in that respect, and you're the musical artist.
Yeah.
The eyes and the ears.
The live show was great. I went to see the live show with my family, and you know, I think it helped to have seen the series, because a lot of the characters you need to be familiar with, and it's a strange universe you've created. It is kind of quite self-contained. Tell me about some of the characters. Tell me about who is Old Greg, for example, and where did Old Greg come from?
He's the funky merman.
There's a picture of Old Greg. Okay.
Look at him. He's a bit frightening, isn't he? The thing about Old Greg is he's got a vagina.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's got a mangina.
He's got a mangina, yeah.
In the same place as a...
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Doesn't
not looked.
Doesn't light shine out of it?
Yeah. He's sort of a sea transsexual, isn't he?
Yeah, funky sea transsexual.
And he sort of, light comes out of his vagina and sort of hypnotises you.
See, this is reality to us. It's not unlike Doctor Who, really. It's just,
Let me ask you about an episode which became a firm favourite in my house, the one where the two of you were washed up on a desert island, and it featured, is it Milky Joe, who was the character? Okay.
Milky Joe, yeah.
Milky Joe, yeah.
We sort of started making friends, didn't we, out of coconuts.
And then we wrote the show.
Yeah.
So there's you, there's Howard Moon, you playing Howard Moon, and is that Milky Joe you're with?
That's Milky Joe down there, yeah.
That's Milky Joe the coconut. So it's a bit like a Castaway vibe.
Yeah, it was from that, watching that, you know, with Wilson, whatever.
Yeah.
But then we actually wrote it as a small sketch where we started making friends out of coconuts, but then it ended up sort of becoming a whole episode.
And what happens is he makes a sort of fella, he makes Milky Joe, a sort of French intellectual, and I make a woman, and he hasn't thought of that, and he's really annoyed. So he tries to dress Milky Joe up as a woman. And I go, that's just Milky Joe in a wig, and he's furious.
I'm interested. Do you ever think, OK, I mean, you're big, you have a very passionate following, OK? And as I said, in my house, you know, the wife's addicted, the kids are addicted, and I love your stuff as well. But I think a lot of people watch and say, OK, this is just too crazed for me. Yeah. Have you ever considered toning it down? Are there people around you who say, you know what, maybe backpedal on the coconut abuse storyline and just stress the desert island thing, which is more friendly for people, and they can jump on board and enjoy the Boosh experience before they have to encounter a man living with a coconut?
Yeah, we've done it all the wrong way around, haven't we?
I know. But what happened is we wrote it and we didn't really realise it was weird. And everyone was going, what's this? And we were like, what do you mean? We thought it was quite normal, didn't we?
We should point out that the music in the show is very good as well. I mean, the look of the show is lovely. It's a fantastical world, and if you haven't seen the show, you should get it out on DVD. And also, there's a Mighty Boosh, the live DVD is out next week as well, which I watched with the kids. We went to the live show, which we loved. The DVD is fabulous as well. And this is all your artwork, isn't it?
Oh, well, actually, Bolo did that. Yeah. He's a graphic designer.
Really?
Yeah.
Bolo the gorilla?
Yeah, but not...
He's not a real gorilla.
Well, he is. Don't spoil the magic.
But I love the songs in it as well, which I believe you write all of them.
Yeah, well, yeah, thanks, yeah. I do, yeah.
But we got a new one we're working on, haven't we? Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, let's hear it. OK, this is the first time you performed this in public?
Yeah, it's a work in progress, so, you know, don't storm the stage. Right?
Don't judge him. Don't judge him too harshly.
He doesn't want to do it.
He's loving this experience. He's loving it.
Are you ready?
What?
No? He doesn't want to do it.
Oh.
Oh, I did a twisty. Oh, 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 a little twisty, twist him up, twist him down, twist him all around like the cobra, dancing to the music of the pipe, the pipe, the pipe, the pipe of life. Choice.
I think that was... now, you two fellas. Now, look at you two. You're embarrassed now.
I'm nearly 40.
Yeah, but that was a joyous thing, and you shared your creativity, and yet you seem a little embarrassed to be putting that out in front of people. Is that because you're not in character right now?
Yeah, I need to get fully into my character.
Into the Howard Moon vibe?
It's sort of just, I feel a little bit awkward, you know, in situations like this. But
yeah, but you feel awkward all the time, going into a
I
shop,
know.
getting out of bed. That's his look, the awkward look.
When you toured, how long was the tour? How long did you tour the UK for with the Boosh show?
3 or 4 months, was it 3? It was getting longer and longer.
Quite a big chunk. We're going to show a clip of it now. Am I right in thinking that you enjoyed yourself recreationally as much as is humanly possible while on tour?
Yeah, that's true. I gave Keith Richards a run for his money.
Yeah, because I know that you kind of went a little bit mad afterwards, didn't you?
No, you did. You were like a sort of Vietnam soldier who didn't know the war was over. Like, you were still in the jungles going, where's... You know, and like, the tour's finished.
OK, this is a clip of the Mighty Boosh Live. The DVD is out now, and it's just great fun. This is the Boosh Live.
This isn't the show, by the way. This is just, you know, a little bit of idle banter up top. The show's all back here waiting to come out.
I can feel it. Look, there's a tiny bit of the show there.
Ooh, I can feel it. I can feel it pulsing.
Look at the show, it's lively tonight.
A show. Let's have a little
glimpse. A little glimpse of the show.
Ooh.
That's the Mighty Boosh Live. But man, it's a lot of work went into that show because the first bit there is kind of stand up here, and you come out, and Bolo comes out, and Naboo comes out, and various people come out and do a bit of... And then the second half of the show was a whole fantastic adventure.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the Singing Ringing Tree a bit. Do you remember that show?
Yeah, we like that, don't we?
Yeah, we were quite into all that Mr. Ben sort of 70s weird psychedelic kind of TV.
Sinbad.
Yeah.
Captain Beefheart.
Yeah, nice adventures. You two obviously get along very well, very close, but you seem very different sort of people. You seem very gregarious, quite at ease socially, and quite clean.
What that means.
Whereas you seem as though you haven't washed your hair for a while, and you're quite uncomfortable being exposed in the glare of a public show like this.
Yeah, that's true. That's all.
Do you think that works because you're so different?
I guess so, yeah. We're pretty... In that way. We're quite similar in other ways, though. Yeah. You know, sexually, philosophically. But I think, yeah, you've always been a bit uncomfortable, whereas I've always imagined that, you know, that was what I was going to do, was wear big hats and sort of run around on television.
And did you perform as solo acts ever? Did you do, like, stand-up and the conventional stuff?
Yeah, that's how we sort of met, really, on the circuit. Doing stand-up, yeah.
But was it similar to the Boosh stuff? Because the Boosh stuff, it seems to be so much of a partnership. I can't imagine it being taken apart and being served up separately.
We're both doing quite surreal stuff.
Yeah, it was quite weird, wasn't it? A lot weirder than the show, in a way.
But we sort of, when we first met, we kind of liked each other's comedy, but we didn't know that it would work. We didn't know whether it was going to cancel each other out.
Yeah.
Two
weirds
make
sort of... Yeah, we're straight.
It might just become geography or some other sort of thing, but it worked for some reason because of our status, or I don't know.
We had quite good chemistry straight away.
I try not to analyse it too much, because I always... If you find out what it is, it just might not work anymore. You know what I mean?
The magic will go.
Yeah. Do you actually believe that?
Yeah.
Oh, OK.
I feel almost bad about this next thing I'm going to do now, because my children are big fans of the Boosh, and they were excited on the show, and I wouldn't let them come along to see you this evening, because the sort of stuff we talk about on the show, not so much me, but certainly guests like John Barrowman, you know, it's not appropriate for kids. And they said, oh, great, well, can we give you a present to give Mighty Boosh? And they gave me this hat to give to you.
Oh, that is
Which I think is very much your cup of tea.
Wow, that's fantastic.
And
how cool is
so
that?
they bought the food, and that was all they gave me. I mean, I did say the hat, and they went, the hat.
You've still got a little ticket thing on the back.
You can't have a go, though, because your hair's too greasy.
But I went out and got you this.
We were more like Tom Cruise in that one as well, actually.
He's got...
He does look quite... It's actually about life size for Tom Cruise, actually, isn't it?
Oh,
hey, the pink hat suits you.
Does it?
Yeah, you like a hat, though, don't you?
I do like a hat, yeah. I've got many hats.
Could we ask Julian to put the hat on for a minute?
Do you want to put it on?
I want to see you could look comfortable in the pink cowboy hat. Look at that. But you see, but now the handsomeness shines through. I can see him now as a handsome, roguish chap.
Yeah.
Perhaps a trucker with a CB. A long way from home, away from his wife, but thinking, why not wear a pink hat? All right? Yeah, breaker, big buddy.
Yeah. He's got a, you know, he's a northern gardener. He's got the Sean Bean gene.
Sean Bean gene.
Yeah, you dirty cow.
Listen, guys, I'm thrilled you came on the show. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Noel and Julian, the mighty Boosh. Miso, thank you very much indeed for indulging us. It was great. Thank you, it was great, thank you. See you later, guys. It's your hat. We'll give him the hat back. Now, I have been sent a present, OK, and I thank you very much. People sometimes send gifts into the show. It's very kind of you. Being me, it's not a Terry's chocolate orange or Bill Oddie's Big Book of Birds or something like that. It's one of these, OK? This is the gift we got sent. Hold it, let me get this out of the box for you, OK? Right, this was sent in to us at the office. And I thought, that's nice. So it's so nice. It's a lovely, solid silver napkin ring. Add class to any place setting. So I held it up in the office. I said, what do you think of this? And the men sort of grunted, weren't really interested. And the women looked up and said, yeah, nice cock ring. That's what they said. And there's a poem on the box. This is what they wrote. Oh, Jonathan, do not deny that this is worth a little try. A solid silver ring for the classier cock. You, Tarzan, give Jane a shock. Well, we have tried it. And I have to tell you, it was disappointing. Because I lay on the bed, Norma Glory, and she had 12 goes and she couldn't get it. She couldn't get it on one. No goldfish for her that night. She went home empty-handed. Let's get my final guest out. I feel I shouldn't keep her waiting for me any longer. It's simply unkind. Will you please welcome the gorgeous Emma Thompson.
Thank you so much.
That's a bit of Gordon Lightfoot, apparently. What a lovely song. Doesn't Emma Thompson look fabulous, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. Glamorous, stylish, classy. That's a lovely dress. Beautiful.
I had my varicose veins done recently.
Did you? What does that entail?
Well, it's really unpleasant. You know, you get full anaesthetic and then they cut you here.
Oh, Columbia.
And they go in, and really, it's like if they've got to kind of whip them out, you know, they're like on you like that.
Wow. And you're asleep at the time, you're knocked out.
Obviously, you're asleep at the time. Oh,
I was told...
Wow, look. Do you know how much this earring is worth?
It's popped off. Have they both got it? Is it like a lucky bag?
Gone right down here.
It's a small figure of John Barrowman. What's going on here?
Don't let me lose this. This is a disaster.
What is it?
You
Have
know
you
when
lost
you
it?
borrow jewellery, when you get back home at night, there's always a big bloke with a thing in a car going, can we have your jewels, please, Mrs. Thompson, in the middle of the night.
How would I know what it's like to borrow jewellery? What do you think? I've been borrowing rings and things, or perhaps cock rings?
Hello.
Perhaps, I don't know.
Exactly.
Hey, it's gone again. It doesn't...
I'll just let it stay down there. I think it wants to be there.
Is it a piercing or is it a clippy?
It's a piercing.
So why is it not staying in there?
Because I was fannying around as usual.
They're beautiful earrings, but...
Thank you very much.
Do you want to take the other one off, or is it because it might unbalance you a bit?
Yes, I might. I will. I'll take the other one off. That's better.
Yeah, look at those, aren't they nice? You'd think they'd have a little treat inside, like a very expensive Kinder egg.
I thought they looked like tiny little haggis.
Oh, yeah.
To go with my dress.
Are they real,
they're real diamonds. They're like
Wow.
25,000 quid's worth or something.
Look at that.
But, I mean, can you imagine spending that on... I mean,
Wow,
it's
that's
odd, isn't
incredible.
it? So you look after them for me, darling.
I will look up. They're fabulous. Well, thank you for bringing them in. OK, now, Emma is back over... Well, you live in the UK, of course, but you seem to spend a lot of time travelling and working, I guess. Have you just come back in for America, is that right?
No, I went to America for a little while to do the publicity for Tart Around for Stranger Than Fiction, which is what, you know, blah. And that was very nice. It was nice going to America. They're funny over there. They are. It was Halloween.
Oh, and the
So
Halloween,
it
they
was
really pushed the...
incredible over there.
They pushed the boat out in America big time, don't they?
How, you know, it's enormous. It's enormous. Little people dressed up as all sorts of stuff, but we're doing it here now. We had a big Halloween party down Argyle. You're big on Halloween,
I
aren't
love
you?
Halloween.
I've got a very good story about this little lad who came to our house wearing, you know, just jeans and a sweatshirt. And I opened the door and said, you know, oh, what have you come as? And he said, a psychopath. What? Well, I mean, you're not wearing, you know, anything special. And he said, well, they always look normal, don't they? I tell you who I saw out there was Lee Lawson, Twiggets. I'll just tell you this story, because otherwise I'll forget about it. No. And he said that he'd been with Twiggy out there, and this producer had said to her, you know, look, are you working, and could you come and do some acting and stuff? She said, yes, I'd love to. She said, you know, because we've got a real problem with women over 50 in LA at the moment, because none of them can move their faces.
Because it's all the Botox.
Yeah, so now I know how to get parts. You know, as I move towards my late 40s, just go in and go, you know, hello. It's a really good script, isn't it?
Gurn a bit. But
I liked it very much. And really just be very, very overly expressive all the way through.
Because you see some actresses, and it really is just solid now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is awful, really.
Well, it's just bizarre.
OK, now, let's talk about Emma's new movie, because I saw it quite a while ago, because we had Will Ferrell coming over. He came on the show and I interviewed him for the film should do.
Yeah.
And he's in the movie with you. Your new film's called Stranger Than Fiction. And the minute you hear the idea, it's just one of those things you think that's a fabulous idea for a movie. Tell us what the premise is, please.
Well, it's a guy suddenly who has a very kind of strange set life with no real love or passion in it, and he wakes up one day and starts hearing his story, his life being narrated. And then through this narration, he starts to change his life, and then he realises in the narration that the narrator of the story is going to kill him, and he has to find the narrator to stop her.
So he becomes aware that essentially he's the character in a book that's being written. It's a brilliant idea. It's such a great idea. And Will Ferrell plays that character.
Yeah.
And your role is?
The writer.
Yeah, the writer.
Suicidal, depressed, you know, so no stretch, really.
Well, but, you know, it's alarming because you seem very vivacious and full of life and you're always very much engaged in life, and you play those kind of characters it seems to come quite easily to you.
I give good tragic, Jonathan, I do. Yes, it's not a problem for me. I reach into a deep well of pain and, you know, get paid for pouring it out. It's fine.
It is. It's kind of like, I began to worry a bit about you after I saw the movie. I thought, well, maybe I should call her and see if she's OK, because you seem very, very real to me, which is a good thing, of course.
Yeah, it is.
But where does that come from? What do you do when you do that?
I don't know. I don't know. It is odd. I mean, especially since I wanted to be a comedian. I wanted to do what these guys did when I did it till I was 27. I didn't start acting till then, and then I started doing really sad things, they just seem to have got sadder and sadder until I started playing people dying of cancer, people being tortured. But I thought, then suicidal writer who tries to kill herself in all sorts of different ways, and I thought, I think I better put a stop to this.
But you're like the name people think of, I guess, when they're writing and they think, oh, I've got a part here for someone
who's crying.
We'll give Emma a call.
Get her on.
But, you know, maybe it's because you're so well-ordered and balanced in real life that you can maybe... No. I'm trying to give you an out there.
Walk away from that illusion, Jonathan, if you would.
OK, this is Emma in action in Stranger Than Fiction.
Dave, I'm being followed. How are you being followed? You're not moving. It's by a woman's voice. She's narrating. Oh.
Harold couldn't concentrate on his work.
I can't think while you're talking.
You have a voice speaking to you.
About me, accurately, and with a better vocabulary.
Harold found himself exasperated.
Shut up!
Cursing the heavens in futility.
No, I'm not. I'm cursing you, you stupid voice!
Have you written anything new today? I figured out how to kill Harold Crick.
Little did he know that events had been set in motion that would lead to his imminent death.
What?
Why?
Karen Eiffel, my name is Harold Crick. I believe you're writing a story about me.
Is this a joke?
You have to understand that this isn't a story to me. It's my life. I want to live. I need to speak to Karen Eiffel. I'm one of her characters.
I'm sorry?
I'm in her new book, and she's going to kill me.
It's great fun, and you know, a strange premise, but it really works.
Yeah, it's great.
Was it something when you saw the script, did you think, OK, it's going to be tough to pull this one off? Will the director get it right? Will it all come together? Or did you know that it would work?
No, I didn't. When I first read it, I got to page 22, because, you know, the producer, Lindsay Duran, produced Sense and Sensibility, and Nanny McPhee, so I've known her for years and years, and she's a really good mate. And I thought, OK, this is going to be good, because she doesn't send any old tat. And I rang her up and I said, please, if you give this to anyone else, I will come to Los Angeles and hurt you. So please, just let me do it, because the writing was so fantastic. This guy, Zach Helm, he's about 31 or something, he's a Chicagoan young writer. And it makes me very bitter. You know, I read it and I was so jealous. That was my first thing.
Well, because you write as well, of course. I mean, you've adapted any number of books to the screen now. And Nanny McPhee, which you did, was it last year? Well, it was last year it came out, wasn't it? The year before, I guess. Which, there you are in action as Nanny McPhee.
Lovely as ever.
Yeah, yeah. Which was just, I just loved that film, and my kids loved it as well. I'm thrilled to hear you're making more, aren't you? You're doing more in the series.
I want to do 2 more. I want to do a trilogy. And then, you know, sort of send her off at the end.
It'll be like your Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
The Nanny McPhee trilogy.
Nanny McPhee of the Rings.
It's not the only kids' movie you've been involved in. Of course, you were in the last Harry Potter movie, and I believe you're going to be in the next one as well.
Looking my best, I believe.
Yeah, but that was a tremendous performance.
That's another thing. I've just been thinking about this. Not only have I been doing really sad, tragic things, but I've also been looking like a total dog since about 1995.
Well, but why do they do that to you? Why do they? I think we have. Do we have a Harry Potter clip? I think we can, because you were. This was the teacher who taught divinations, didn't she?
Yes, Professor Trelawney.
Trelawney, that's it. OK, have a look at this.
I am Professor Trelawney. Together we shall cast ourselves into the future. This term we shall be focusing on tessomancy, which is the art of reading tea leaves. So please take the cup of the person sitting opposite you. What do you see? The truth lies buried like a sentence deep within a book, waiting to be read. But first, you must broaden your minds. First, you must look beyond.
What a load of rubbish.
Where did you come from?
Me? Been here all this time.
Ooh, whoa! Your aura is pulsing, dear. Are you in the beyond? I think you are.
Sure.
Look at the cup. Tell me what you see.
Oh, yeah, well, Harry's got sort of a wonky cross. That's trials and suffering. And, that there could be the sun, and that's happiness. So, you're gonna suffer, but you're gonna be happy about it.
Well, that's musical. Professor Trelawney, I love those movies, of course, my kid. We're still searching for the earring bit here.
Oh God, I'm lovely.
Let me ask you about something stranger than fiction, sorry, because it's a great cast. You know, we mentioned Will Ferrell, who's terrific in it.
Terrific.
Your performance is tremendous.
Thank you.
Dustin Hoffman, of course, is, you know, he's a huge star for very good reason. He's a tremendous actor, but it's a lovely performance from him as well. Have you worked with him before? I'm trying to remember. No, you haven't. So it's the first time with Dustin. How did you find that? What was he like as a co-actor?
Well, can you imagine? I mean, he's like one of my great all-time heroes, and I was in love with him from when I was very young, in things like Graduate and Midnight Cowboy and all of that. And I met him for the first time on my birthday last year, and you know, he's so extraordinary. He still walks like this. Can I do this? Can you see?
Do.
He still does that. Walk, you know, with the hands slightly forward and a little bit, you know, he still does that, and he's still, oh God, I've sweated on that sofa. You see, one does what one can, but frankly, the beast will out.
Well, we like the beast.
So, you've heard so many things about Dustin over the years, but he's just become this incredibly gentle, beautiful, loving, generous man. And he's very honest about, for instance, what it's like to have been the most enormous star. Stardom like we really can't imagine now.
Well,
it's
he was the kind of biggest star in movies for about 15, 20 years almost, wasn't he, in the States? I mean,
so we can't imagine what it's like to walk down a road in New York and be Dustin Hoffman or Robert Redford. You know, it's just different. We don't do that stuff here. And it saved us, I think, from an awful lot of grief. But at the same time, it's still, oh, my God, these people are gods, you know. And he's just come through it all and has an incredible wisdom, and he's beautiful to be with, really wonderful, except he's so recognisable.
Yeah.
So we're walking along, we did a lot of walking, because we would rehearse the scenes walking up and down and just talking, and people would stop Dustin all the time.
Yeah.
because he's a god, you know,
Yeah,
in their
Dustin
lives.
Hoffman,
And he's
yeah.
He's Dustin Hoffman, for crying out loud. You know, there he is. And I said, Dustin, can't you get yourself a hat or something? Can't you, you know? And he said, oh, I don't like hats. And I said, but why? He said, well, my nose sticks out underneath them. And I said, well, can't we get one that's, you know, not your nose doesn't stick out of, but that just covers up parts of your face so that at least we can have a conversation for more than 30 seconds without somebody inviting you over for a massage? And he said, well, you know what? I would rather be recognised than wander around Chicago looking like an aging Jew. You've got to love someone who says something like that.
Yeah. Stranger Than Fiction opens on the 1st of December. I very much enjoyed the movie. I thought it was just, you know, I love the idea behind it, but it is just so brilliantly executed, so congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, isn't it lovely to see Emma Thompson here again? Doesn't she look absolutely fabulous? She's beautiful, she's talented, she's funny. It's Emma Thompson, ladies and gentlemen. You can't keep her earrings on, though. Yeah, how lovely.
Hi, darling.
Thank you.
See you
Let me give you
soon.
this. Don't forget them. OK. No.
It's got swallowed up somewhere. No. It's got kind of, you know...
Thanks to all my guests, Emma, of course, the mighty Boosh and the great John Barrowman. You were fabulous guests. Thank you, all of you. Next week, the show won't be on because we're making way for Children in Need, but we're back in 2 weeks' time with Courtney Love, Jeremy Clarkson and music from Juliette Lewis and the Licks. But now, performing Wind It Up, will you please welcome the fantastic Gwen Stefani?
You're back with the girl and go to lay your low. This is the key that makes us wind up. When the beat comes on, the girls all line up and the boys all look, but no, they can't touch. But the girls want to know why boys like us so much. They like the way we dance, they like the way we work, they like the way the lamb is going across my shirt, they like the way my pants, it complements my shape. They like the way we react every time a bass bang. Realize it calls your name. Let the beat wind you up and don't stop till your time is up. Get in line now. Wind it up. Wind it up. Wind it up. You lay your love to let the beat get under skin. You got to open up and let it all in. But see, once it gets in, the popping begins, and then you'll find out why all the boys stare. See, they're trying to bite our style, trying to study our approach. They like the way we do it, so original. I guess if they are slow, so they should leave the room. This beat is for the clubs and cars that every time a bass bang, realize it calls your name. Let the beat wind you up and don't stop till your time is up. Get in line now. Wind it up. Wind it up. Wind it up. You lay your love. This is your moment. Come on, girl, you know you own it. You know your key is still tick-tocking. Hell yeah. And you know they're watching. Get it, girl, get it, girl. Get it, girl, get it, girl. To the front, to the side, to the back, but don't let them ride. Keep going, girl, it's your night. Don't let them steal your life. I know he thinks you're fine and stuff, but does he know how to wind you up? Wind it up. Wind it up. Wind it up. Yo lay. Hey!
Great. Gwen Stefani, ladies and gentlemen. That was fantastic. Thank you very much indeed.